expected all the guests that we invited to have arrived and registered by now. There's an attendance sheet going on. Kindly have access to it and get yourself registered. Shortly, we are going to have a welcome and an opening session for today's engagement, and that will be handled by the spokesperson. Also, with us, and for the purposes of today's engagement, we have persons who have come out to lead various constituencies for parliamentary positions. They are going to have expressions to us. We equally have persons who have come out to lead various local governments in West Nile. They will have engagement and expressions. Thereafter, we have individuals who have also come out to take up positions in the National Executive Committee of the Democratic Party. They will have an opportunity to share a few things, and the gist of our gathering this morning will be an address by an eminent person who is going to shoulder West Nile at the national stage in form of a presidential candidate, for now, for the Democratic Party presidency. We shall accord him an opportunity to address us, and that will be followed by a question and answer session. And once we're through with that, we hope to officially bless this journey by endorsing our presidential candidate. And once that is done, we shall then be able to depart at will. Therefore, with this, and also in the interest of time, I think, with the permission of Your Excellency, I would like us to get started. So we can settle down as we get started. Those who are arriving, you're welcome to join us. Start by recognizing the presence of our major media houses in the country through the Chairperson of West Nile Journalists Association, so I welcome you all for this engagement. I take this opportunity also to welcome our gallant aspirants who are ready to change the agenda of West Nile. And we have members of the Democratic Party who are here with us. You are most welcome. Others are here to join us. I therefore take this opportunity to welcome everybody for the engagement this morning. For the record, my name is Asau Sunday. I am the Administrative Secretary in the Office of the Democratic Party's Vice President for Northern Uganda. At the same time, I am the spokesperson for the elect Honorable Alitia Elia Task Force for the DP presidency. Countrymen and women, this morning we have come to witness history. We are on the land of our forefathers of the great Lado Enclave. Here is a land that was born before Uganda. If history can remind us, we are aware Uganda was born and conceived in 1900, but the land we are standing on today was born in 1914 when Uganda received it from Sudan through an arrangement. And this is a land that has been systematically marginalized to the point where it is today. Despite that, there are things we are proud of as a people who come from this land. If I may be allowed to mention a few. If I may be allowed to mention a few, this is the land in Uganda that today sorry for that. This is the land in Uganda which today provides labor, not just labor, but labor in the most sensitive areas in this country. Today, if you want to find men and women who are upright, you will have to come and get them from West Nile. What does this mean? Ladies and gentlemen, today we're in a place that holds Uganda's moral and leadership campus. That is the implication. I would also like to remind us that after Uganda was conceived, given birth in 1962, indeed, the founders of the nation gave Uganda a wonderful childhood with a very, very promising future. When Uganda reached adolescence, around 1986, it still had a few years of good adolescence, about 10, and a system called the movement system. Suddenly, Uganda went into a crisis because of recklessness and so many other things. And when this crisis set in, unfortunately, Uganda developed multiple elements. And this led it to start having what we would describe multiple organ failure. The first happened around 2005 when our constitutional term limits were tampered with. Ugandan's kidneys failed. In 2017, Article 102B was tampered with to do away with our presidential term limits. Uganda went into a cardiac arrest. After that, so much is transpired in our country. Uganda is totally sick as we speak, and it is in intensive care unit. In the present state, it keeps hemorrhaging about 9 trillion of what it earns as revenue through endemic corruption. Further still, it is being strangled by a debt burden of around 94 billion shillings. That amounts to about 46.8 of our total GDP. The service sector is broken. We are aware. If you walk to our health centers, you only see health centers, but no services. Therefore, we would be right to say we have a ministry of perhaps health centers, but not a ministry of health. Same to our education sector, etc., etc. What is therefore required? Ladies and gentlemen, there's an urgent need to reconstruct Uganda. Uganda needs a total overhaul, and it is urgent. Today, on this great land of West Nile, this land of our ancestors, a sun has risen up to give hope to this nation, and that is the cause that has brought us here today. This sun has risen up to bring hope, to make Uganda function again in a way that it provides hope, it provides opportunities, and every Ugandan is able to find justice. And that is what has brought us here today. Therefore, we are on a mission to liberate this nation. And our mission is two-pronged. The first phase of this mission is to sort out misrule in the Democratic Party. Once we are done with that, the next phase of this mission is to sort out misrule in our nation. To start with phase 1, our journey to sort out misrule in the Democratic Party has started today. I take this opportunity this morning to say a few things to our President General, Norbert Mao. I want to tell Chairman Mao, I would like to address him as Chairman Mao this morning. Chairman Mao is a very intellectual human being. We all admired him. He inspired us. He's intelligent. But thinking that other people are less intelligent than you is not one of the good qualities of a good leader. He said many things, and I would like to take this opportunity to remind him of some of the few things he said. First of all, he told us, the young ones who were following him, that we have a devil who is in charge of Uganda. And he said, you cannot play cards with this devil, because when you sit on the table to play cards with him, he removes all the big twos, all the big threes, the joker, and the big master. He holds them to his chest, and then he gives you the rest and invites you for the game. Now, the person who told us this decided to sit at the table and engage in a political game, while knowing he doesn't have the best cards. Further still, Chairman Mao told us that one of the things you do when you are dining with the devil is you use a very long fork so that you don't come closer to the food. But today, Chairman Mao decided to dine with the devil, but without using a fork. This time he's using his bare hands. Additionally, he told us, and also we saw, before he entered into an arrangement, which is a single-handed arrangement, he told us that the devil usually lures you through a campaign, which we saw happen. He accepted, and when he was lured, he was promised heaven. When he came back and was preparing to go and occupy that heaven, unfortunately, that heaven turned into a hell. Today, he is now trapped in hell, and he cannot cross to heaven because there is no gate between hell and heaven. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is our duty, and it is the duty of His Excellency, Honorable Alitia Elia, to sort out this mess, and we're ready. On the 30th of May, 2025, we have a National Delegates Conference that is underway. We are on a journey to reclaim the presence of DP, and for the first time in history, we are going to have a president of a national party coming from this great land of West Nile, our land of London. When this mission is over, on 30th of May, we will embark on phase 2. And on that day, we promise to give a letter to Chairman Mao. And this document is going to be a timetable that is going to hand over to Mr. Museveni. That timetable has 2 important dates for Mr. Museveni. By the end of this year, December, Mr. Museveni should prepare to move his cows out of Uganda. That is one. The second important date is end of January 2026. Because I can say this, and I'm responsible for what I'm saying, in exactly 266 days from today, Uganda is going to receive a new president. And that will be the first time we shall have peaceful transfer of power in this country. And I'm quite sure by that time, Mr. Museveni will already be out of the country. And we would like Chairman Mao to tell him that we have accepted him to take one of the Uganda Airlines jets for free and move away with it, with his money. Now, once we are done with this, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to offer a real opportunity. And that's why we're here to talk to you today. The men and women you see who are carrying the Democratic Party flag in West Nile here today are men and women who mean well for this nation. I said earlier, West Nile is the leadership and moral compass of this country. Because this region is older than the nation, it is right that West Nile reclaims the leadership of this country. Therefore, this morning, I now want to call upon all our people of West Nile, those around, those in the different parts of the country, and those outside the country. It is time to unite around this cause. This is a unique opportunity for our region. But while we do this, we are mindful that we need everybody in the country for this cause. Therefore, as I speak, we have rolled out mass enrollment of membership. It is the first time that DP in West Nile has rolled out a very massive enrollment. On 26th of this month, we are going to launch an office in Maracha district. As I speak, we have DP registers that are in all districts of West Nile, and we're recruiting. We therefore invite everybody to join this excellent party that is going to present the most credible alternative to our government. Once we're done with that, my second call is to gallant men and women in West Nile. If you feel inspired by our message, by our courage, by our determination, today we call upon you. We have tickets of the Democratic Party for all parliamentary positions and local council positions that are available. Please, show up. Let's pick these tickets. We get out and we sort out this mess, and we'll make Uganda work for all of us again. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I therefore hope the country receives our message positively, because we are not turning back. A philosopher, Socrates, once said that when the wise refuse to rule, then they should prepare to be ruled and suffer by idiots. We choose to be the wise. We have chosen to step up, and we are ready. Nothing is going to stop us. This message will go out clearly. We are aware of the political environment. Recently, we witnessed a lot in Kawempe North. The current system may be having the army, all the machinery, but that will not threaten us. We are ready, and we are going. At this point, I would now like to give opportunity to aspirants behind me here who are ready to go out and occupy political spaces in various constituents within West Nile. To start with, we have a gentleman who is ready to pick up the mantle in Terego West constituency. Honorable Victor, you are most welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, the press, comrades who are struggling with us for better Uganda, my people of Terego West, good morning. I stand here today deeply humbled and immensely honored to officially declare my aspiration for the post of Member of Parliament, Terego West, from DP ticket in the upcoming. This is not a decision I've taken lightly. It came after wide consultations and deep reflection that this is the time for a new chapter in Terego West constituency. A chapter of unity, transformation, and shared progress. We know that in Terego West, we have been underrepresented. Almost for 10 years, the voices of Terego West have not been heard in the national forum. Terego West Terego West is blessed with very resilient people, very fertile soil, and abundant opportunities. But for long, these have not been explored.
So maybe you could first mention your name. Because here I'm broadcasting live, so I needed to add the name.
I am Ajuma Victor. Terego West is blessed with very resilient people, very fertile soils, and a lot of opportunities. But for long, these opportunities have not been explored by our leaders. We have youth who are suffering because of no employment, women who have no opportunity for self-determination, and a lot of issues, including health centers and the roads that need urgent effects. So this needs a leader like me, who can turn the situation in the most urgent time. I am offering myself as a servant leader, grounded in integrity and guided by needs of our people. I believe in leadership that listens, that delivers. Besides the role of MP, such as legislation, appropriation, and the oversight, my vision for Terego West is grounded around 6 pillars. The first one is empowering the youth through skills development, job creation, and entrepreneurship skills. As we realize, in the formal sector in Uganda, employment is limited. It is very crucial that the youth are skilled through entrepreneurship skills so that they have self-employment. Transform agriculture to promote modern farming practices, improving access to markets, and supporting value addition. It is very critical that most of our farmers are practicing currently primitive agriculture system using handheld hoes that are less productive. So it is very crucial that we empower farmers to be able to practice modern farming practices, something that has been lacking long in Terego West. And also value additional promotion. You see that what we set out as exports are finished goods that earn better money. Invest in education and health center systems. As our spokesperson said, the infrastructure, especially health centers and schools in Terego West, are actually in a very dear state. So it is very critical that we shall lobby to ensure that the health centers and the schools in Terego West have good infrastructure and service delivery. Investing in developing, improving access roads and access water, quality water services. You realize that our roads in Terego especially are not in very good condition, including access to water. Statistics show that around 60% of our population they do not have access to safe water. The issue of environmental conservation and climate action is one critical issue that we are going to look into our agenda. To have a very healthy environment is very critical for the survival of future generations. This is something that in our society people do not take serious. So we are going to ensure that the issues of climate action, climate resilience are addressed in Terego West. Promoting unity and accountability in leadership systems. You realize that currently Terego generally there's a lot of division in Terego West based on political grounds, ethnic grounds. So our mission is to ensure that we have a united, no division, and prosperous Terego. This campaign is not about me. It's about us. It's about dreams of the future of people in Bileve, Boroboda in Aivo, teacher in Katrini, and the mother in Lechu in accessing services. I invite all of you, the elders, the youth, the religious leaders, and the business community to walk this journey with me. Let us rise above division. Let let us choose hope and let us believe in the possibility of change. It's something very, very critical. We need to work this stuff together. It's not all about me, it's about all of us from Terego West. In the coming weeks, I will be engaging you closely at your homes, at your health centers, at business places, and all those areas where you worship. Let us, I pledge to serve with humility, transparency, and listening ear. To the media, I thank you very much for your presence and ask you to continue shining the light on issues that matter to our people. To the people of Terego West, I am ready to serve. I am ready to lead, and with very support, we will handle the Terego to become the way it is supposed to be. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Terego West.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Our aspirant for Terego West constituency. Next, I would like to bring on board an aspirant who is ready to offer himself for Maracha East constituency. Sir, you are most welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I greet you this morning. I am by name Emmanuel Abiti, offering himself for Maracha East constituency. I think this is for the second time. I was there 2021, but I didn't make it through. But this time around, I'm certain that I'm going to make it through. Maracha, as a district, which in my view, I call a state project. It is a state political patronage project, just to widen its political patronage. When it was carved in 2006 financial year, its policy straight away went bad. It is politics based on identity. As I talk, citizenship in Maracha, and more so in Maracha East, is clanized, whereas at the national level it is ethnicized, but for Maracha it is clanized. I mean, this one comes from which clan? This is the type of destructive politics. As we know, service delivery revolves around good politics. Our nationality in the country is biologized, whereas in Maracha, it is the same. So this destructive politics has impaired service delivery badly in Maracha as a district and Maracha East constituency in particular. We can see this in health. The recent release of health indicators assessment report puts Maracha the third last in the whole nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we know what I'm saying has evidence. As we are here talking, already behind there, I came back from home yesterday, just yesterday. We are tussling with the TB outbreak in Maracha, particularly in Tara sub-county. You know, TB is a public health disease. We are all seated here. We have TB infection. But why we have not developed TB disease is just simply because our immunity is competent. For you to develop TB disease, like those people who already put you on treatment in Maracha, your immunity must have been tampered with. What are some of these conditions that reduce our immunity? One of them is malnutrition. Among other diseases like HIV, cancer, and so on. And therefore, for Maracha's case, it is malnutrition. People are poor. People at times cannot even afford a meal a day. This is the Maracha we are talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not issues to just look at, but to rise up like now, I've risen up to attack seriously. We begin from the correction of the body politics, politics of distraction, politics of identity. When I got angered, I said I cannot do this alone. I simply came out and said, let my brother Aikuwa, you come up, take the leadership of the district as a chairperson. Meanwhile, I will be here in Maracha East as a member of Parliament. Let us totally change the political culture in the whole district so that citizens in that district can benefit from service delivery. Minus good politics. Don't mention anything about service delivery. Why we are suffering nationally here is just because of bad politics. You are aware our president here has divided this country into two. Bandu speakers and non-Bandu speakers. You are all aware in his book called Sowing the Mustard Seed. He said, we from West Nile up to Kapchorwa we form 1 out of 4 of Uganda's population. 3 out of 4 of Uganda's population is formed by Bantu speakers. So therefore Uganda belongs to Bantu speakers. A book written by a head of state. Oh, this is a clan chief. So this is the politics we are suffering from. In psychology they say, when you stay with a thief, there is a tendency of you becoming a thief through what we call contagion effect. His bad politics has now pervasive contagion effect in the nation up to the district. So when you see people all running on yellow ticket, by the way, they don't run there because they support it. What takes them there is, I will get opportunity to steal. That is what they put first in their mind to go there. In Maracha, as we talk now, in education department, we had 35 first grades in PLE 2024. And this is inclusive of private schools. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see the systemic rot here, what it brings to our people. Over 85% of the head teachers in Maracha district as a whole are all in active position. What does the public service standing order say? You should act only for 6 months. You can see this massive mismanagement. Why can't we rise up and oppose this and correct this for the better of our people? Roads. You know, this government promised 1 billion for road maintenance. In Maracha, just to give you an example, there are 3 bridges that have been built there. 1 year down the road, they are all broken. As I talk now, even if you walk here, I go and show you, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. Broken. Pseudo work. Very pseudo work. This war should not actually be one person's war. We should be all angered for what we see happening. When I looked at all this, I said, no, we cannot sit and just watch this happen at the expense of our people. I have reason again to come and challenge this in total terms, and I am 100% sure come January you will hear, you will be reading in your media houses that Honorable Abit Emmanuel has been the duly elected Member of Parliament for Maracha East. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Abit Emmanuel, for the inspiration you've given us this morning. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite another competence for a constituency that equally needs treatment. We are talking about Vurra constituency. Sir, you are most welcome to address the people.
Your Excellency, the current Vice President from Northern Uganda, Democratic Party, importance to become the party General President. My fellow comrades, those who are present, the media, good morning. It's still morning. This is a great honor for me to present my view and aspiration, not only for my constituency, but even for the entire nation. In the previous election, 2021, I contested as the Member of Parliament on the Democratic Party. The people of Vurra entrusted me and gave me lots of votes. Although majority of them were stolen by the thieves, and the thieves are in the government system. And again, I'm going to put forth my manifesto for coming back to Vurra to offer what is called effective representation of the people of Vurra. When I talk about effective representation, I mean that it's not only going to be I, me, and myself when the people of Vurra send me there. It's all going to be about the people of Vurra and their needs to be addressed. Because once they send me up there, I'm going to sign a contract. It is actually an ipso facto contract between me and the people of Vurra. Therefore, as we know, the MPs of this country basically have 3 roles. Basically, according to Article 79, subsection 1, which gives a summary of the role of the member of Parliament. One is making or amending laws in relation to security, in relation to peace, in relation to order, in relation to development, in relation to good governance. Number 2, it's mostly about understanding the budget for every agenda, development agenda. They can get to scrutiny of the budgets and amend it or make it work. The third, last, mostly to link up issues affecting the people in their own constituencies. Based on these 3 fundamental roles of an MP, in summary, what is it that I want to do? 5 things. 1, I'm going to talk about family protection. Family protection. This is a very comprehensive area that I may not delve into details, but to give you a highlight of why this family protection. It's the human security component that must be addressed, not only locally, not only within my constituency, but across the nation. That is affecting us. The West, in several of their books, never define us as Africans as 2 human beings. We're not human beings. We're not rational enough like them. They have not equated us as 2 human persons. And therefore, the agenda which they are having with us is a total different agenda, which must be further scrutinized. And something must be done to it. The issue of family protection features here in my agenda because it even affects my people in my constituency. It affects people of West Nile. It affects the entire nation in Uganda. Many international organizations come up with an agenda of family planning, sexual reproductive health rights, sort of thing in courts. I want to put it in courts. These are international organizations that work under the principle of, they embrace the principle of equivalency. This is a philosopher who simply says that for them they believe in laser. Laser. It's your time today. You can do anything with your body. Anything with your body. The agenda that several of these international organizations that advocate sexual reproductive health rights promote several immoral agenda, minus putting things right to the people when it comes to responsibility. They want to tell you it's your right. It's your right. You have right with your body to do anything. I'm speaking this because my experience in 2021, I was actually enforced by different individual groups who work with some of these international organizations. I said, you are bringing an agenda of sexual reproductive health right to do with the HIV prevention, pregnancy prevention, and yet they do not consider the moral of the act. And so, when you look at the current statistics, you realize that right now, as I speak, there are more than 1.4 million people living with HIV in this country. Because the whole thing is, they advocate, you can use condom, you can use protection, you use natural, you use artificial family planning. So many people are enticed to embrace this kind of agenda, and even they end up in many new cases of HIV infections. Any place of HIV infections in Arua has the potential to affect. After all, by the way, HIV historically started from Rakai. Today it is here. Today it is here in Arua. So this is a human security concern that I am going to table on the floor of Parliament. That some of these international organizations must be properly scrutinized before they offer their services. I'm speaking this because they have even infiltrated the corrupt system of the government. They're working from inside. And so there must be a law that restricts them from operationalizing their agenda that brings a lot of immorality in our communities. Second, if you go to Vurra today, all the roads that connect the 4 sub-counties, they're terrible. Very terrible. 2024-2025, there was an agenda, there was budget allocation for road maintenance worth 4.989 trillion. This money is helping somewhere else because we do not have effective representation. We don't have, because what we have, in the words of Professor Pilo Lumumba, the village idiots being our leaders. It's very unfortunate that we find ourselves there. My presence on the floor of Parliament will be to coordinate and advocate by moving from one ministry to another to do the necessary. I will present it as a concern for the local people because they're also human beings. Third, promote unity for development. As I speak right now, the MPs in my district, in my constituency, they don't work hand in hand with the district leadership, the executive councils of the district, sub-counties, each one for himself, God for us all. It's very unfortunate. It's just a division. Don't expect development. Expect total mess. Number 4, second last, I will look into the reconstruction and construction of new modern markets in my constituency, beginning with Areva, Ajia, Ojipala, Kampala market. There is always something good attributed to modernized market system. When the market is well constructed, with no people seated outside, rain beating them, sunshine beating them, there are many other people who can come for trade. does this study do? It has the propensity to increase economic development in my constituency. The last one, number 5, environment. Environment is a big concern. This I'm not only going to advocate within my constituency. I'm going to raise this as a national concern. As a national concern. Because today, people across the globe are talking about global warming. Global warming. And for this, I will initiate a fresh national concern on the issues of environment. In 2020, Uganda had 2.44 million hectares of natural resources or forest cover. But in 2023, it lost more than 37.6 roughly kilometer hectares of natural forest, which contributed to 44.5 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions. At the local level in Arua, if you go right now on the ground, all the hills, whether small or big, the trees are finished. You go to Lugu Mountain, the biggest mountain in Vurra constituency. People have depleted the trees. I have several hills surrounding me. People have finished the trees. What am I going to initiate? I will initiate a national concern. Because if other countries, like China, that planted more than 2.5 billion trees in 2021, Ethiopia, that is just here, that planted more than 350 million trees in a single day in 2019. Why can't I raise a national concern for this country whereby in a day, every Ugandan is set to plant maybe 10 trees or 20 each Ugandan in order to tackle the issues to do with the climate variability. Because this will not only affect the people of Vurra, it affects everyone here. It affects everyone. And this is the important concern that I'm going to raise, which have never been raised by my fellow parliamentarians who are in the system. Because it's all about eating, and then that is it. They don't care about people. And that's why I want to have the most effective representation of the people of Vurra. I thank you all for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our comrade, for raising up for Vurra. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we're able to present 3 personalities. I would like to inform you, this is the beginning of a series of engagements we're going to have with you, the media. In our subsequent engagements, we are going to continue interacting with more personalities in that role of parliamentary representation. I would like now to take this opportunity to open up space for aspirants who are going to take the mantle at local government level. To start with, our mother city, Arua, deserves a mayor of Democratic Party caliber. I therefore take this opportunity to invite His Lordship, the incoming mayor of Arua City, to share with us your aspirations. Sir, you are most welcome.
Thank you, my DP President, my colleague, leaders in the Democratic Party, Aspirant Member of Parliament, and local leaders, the media fraternity. Today, I feel privileged to have interaction with you. I also feel privileged to declare my candidacy for the position of City Mayor, Arua. My name is Gaspar Kirio. I'm by training a health worker. I'm a social worker and a public administrator. So I am multidisciplinary. I think this qualification makes me fit for the position of City Mayor.
Yes.
Campaigning for this position on 3 grounds: unity, transparency, and good governance. If the people of West Nile get united, the leaders are transparent, there will be good governance, which will result into good service delivery and eventually development. This position I'm aspiring for is not my position, is not the position of the people of Arua, is a West Nile position. You are aware that Arua is a regional city, like other cities which started in 2020. But because of bad leadership, the city has tended to take a local dimension, a clinical dimension. We cannot be the first people in the whole world to have a clan city, which our current leaders attempt to create in our great West Nile. Without unity of the people, there will be no development. Our region is called West Nile. In Uganda, the other regions, named in the names of tribes. You hear of Uganda region, you hear of Anikole region, Busoga region, Teso region, Acholi region, Lango region. But when it comes to Arua, when it comes to West Nile, because we have so many tribes, I think government found it very difficult to call it the name of any one tribe. So we call ourselves West Nile region. The only region in this country with an English name. I want us to reflect on that. Why? We're a small region, but with diverse cultures and tribes. Unless we come together and accept work as a unit, service delivery, development will continue to elude us. Today, West Nile has been put in the bracket of Karamata in development. They say West Nile is second to Karamata in development. Why should we be grouped with the least developed tribe? Why are we not in the brackets of Buganda region, Anikole region, Busoga region, or Acholi region? We need a mayor. We need leaders who unite people, regardless of tribe, regardless of religion, regardless of parties. It has been a song all along that our West Nile leaders don't work together. Even the members of the Parliament of West Nile don't work together. They don't have an agenda for West Nile. It is now time. We need to ignore our differences and set an agenda for West Nile. The only thing which can unite the whole of West Nile is one city. I want a city for all of us West Nilers. The major tribes in West Nile we have the Aluru, that cover from Papua to Zongo. We have the Lubara, I think the biggest tribe in West Nile. We have around 3, 4, 5 districts. Then we have the Kakwen Kobogo, we have the Mali. That are small tribes are subsets of these tribes. I hear Some people vote for us, we were this and that. If, for example, you come to Arua, you ask, what is your tribe? Where do you come from? Somebody will tell, for me, I'm from Arua. Another will say, I'm from Terego. One will say, from Koboko. Another will say, from Maracha. Now, if you ask, now where are the locals? That means that we discard our identity for the mere sake of promoting our clans. By the way, things like Maracha, Terego, these are clans of local tribe. My elders are here. They confirm that actually the tribe is it. The government of NRM has divided the people of West Nile along clans. They gave them districts. While a group is given a district, they think now we are a district of our own. When there's a problem in Vurra, the Arga will say, for me, I'm an Arena, so I don't have anything to do with that. When there's a problem, the Terego will say, that's how you are fair. Yet we are one people. My candidacy is to unite the people of West Nile. I think this is one thing we must not try to achieve. When we are united the Western Islands, we shall have a common agenda. When we confront the government with the Western issue, we shall succeed. Look at our MPs. We have 42 MPs in this parliament of Uganda. They represent 13 districts, including the city. But why are we not achieving? Because every member of parliament goes there for his clan. The one of Vurra will not talk about the history of Koboko. The one of Yumbe will not talk about the issue of Maracha. Now tell me, how will government hear us? The unity we shall have in this city, with the nucleus of West Nile, will spread all over West Nile. So, I'm urging all of us to rally behind this agenda of unity. The second thing we need to achieve, which I'm going to promote, and I want all of us to rally behind the issue of transparency. I think this city is already 5 years down the road. We have never had any one time that the city mayor, whose mandate is to tell us, address us on the state of the city affairs. All of us in darkness. We don't know what's going to happen in Arua City. What are they hiding? If there's any success registered, all of us must know, especially the media must know. If there are any problems, everybody must know, the media must know. I'm the candidate who will strive for transparency. So that each and everything that happens in the administration of the city must be known by all West Nilers. Number 3, we talk about Arua City, a city of great opportunities. I hope you have that. Opportunities for whom? Have all the West Nilers got the opportunity to participate in the affairs of this city? If not, why? I'm the candidate, given opportunity, will want equal opportunities for all. This goes hand in hand with corruption. Look at the past recruitment. The city has recruited one or twice. But what is that? People start complaining even before this is happening. In interviews, if you are lucky to be invited for the interview, you even get to know that you will not get the job because of the mood in the room. We have West Nilers who have been working in this city. Even, when you are recruited to work on a contract, it means you qualify for that position. That means when substantive positions are now given, you attend, you're supposed to pass. These guys have been working well on the contract, but imagine what? Coming to recruitment, they say you don't qualify for the job. How are we performing as a contract worker? Now, what does it mean? Corruption. One of the key corruption corruption aspect, we have noted in this city the issue of nepotism, tribalism. If you go to an office, you find cousins. The other one is the manager, the other one is the secretary, the other one is a cousin. If these people collude to corrupt the country, the city, shall we survive? That's the name. Intelligence reigns in kinship. You investigate that. This I leave you to find out. The city has been eaten by corruption, nepotism, kinship. Look at the status of institutions of government. Look at the City Land Board, who are there. Look at the Discharge Commission, who are there. Look at the Accounts Commission, who are the personalities. Are they on competence or relationship? That I leave for you to internalize. And this is what I will aspire to make sure that there must be equal opportunities for all. If there are contracts, they must be given to the best qualified people. If there are jobs, they must be given to the best qualified people. Because if you recruit based on other factors other than competence, the result is poor performance and poor service delivery. The fourth issue I'm going to work to improve is the issue of public administration. You realize that in the creation of Arua City, our politicians of the former Arua municipality and Arua County got excited. What happened? Decentralization was not observed. In the state of decentralization, what happened? The city was decentralization. That's why you see in the former municipality, which had two divisions of Arua Hill, and the only division, we now have something called Arua Central. This worked against the principle of decentralization. Because government services go to the sub-county so that people get these services. In the case of Arua County, it is worse. All the 7 sub-counties were closed to create one sub-county in the name of division called Arua Division. Headquartered in Maracha. You see the mess? Over 450,000 people receiving government services at one sub-county in the name of division. This one has not worked, and we need to look at this one afresh. In the actual sense, whereas all the sub-counties of the former Arua district became districts, Terego, Maracha, Vurra, Madokolo, for Arua County, where I come from, Arua has become a sub-county. This one does not work. The issue of being part of a city without services, I think it was a big negligence on part of our leaders. When we have addressed all these things, we now shall go to the real thing. The existence of any government, whether local or national, is supposed to provide good services, infrastructure. You have seen our roads. You have seen at the level of electrification of the city. You have seen how poor garbage has been managed in this city. These are issues we need to improve. It needs commitment of leaders. So I'll be committed to make sure that there are good roads, good light in the city, and proper garbage management. Look at our health sector. Go to our hospital, receive what's up delivery. Look at the education system. We don't have education institution which merit the city of the level of a city. That's why our citizens in Arua and West Nile, they send their children to study in Kampala, when we only have schools of city standards in Arua. Socioeconomic issues we have. Look at the level of poverty in this city. Government built for us a market. The president said is to promote income, household income to poor people, especially the women. But when the market was complete, what happened? Did they allocate the stores to the poor women? Market went to the politicians and the leaders. So this is the thing we want to reverse. Elect me a city mayor, we shall make sure that we do a fresh allocation of those stores. so that the poor people benefit. How can you be a cow? How can you be LC5 chairman? How can you be a councillor? You own 10 stores and the poor woman is driven away from the market. This is unfair. The road, the water. Very clean water is life. In a road, you don't have a source of water. Any river cannot generate the water needed for the city. Every day the population is swelling. We shall sit together with you and identify proper source of water and make sure that Arua has good, clean water for every part of the city. In a nutshell, I will work for a well-developed city which works for everybody. Thank you. Thank you. For what I have.
Thank you so much, Your Lordship, for those very, very good words. Before we move forward, we are blessed to receive a senior citizen in this region, an elder, and a statesman, in the names of Honorable Arua City. Sir, you are most welcome to join us this morning. I now want to take this opportunity to invite from my right another aspirant for the position of District Local Council 5 Chairperson, Maracha District. Welcome.
His Excellency, the 99% incoming President of GP, lady members present, our senior politician around, I call him always Mr. Mamba, the aspiring candidates, the media fraternity, the eyes of the country. Good morning. My name is Arua City. I'm senior lead officer who has worked for more than 10 years in both private and public institutions, a well-natured person, an upright citizen who loves his country, who for a long time has been thinking of how a community can be made better. And it is against this background why I've said I could work, your people have suffered enough. Why can't you go and lead your people to the promised land? And that's the background which has really ignited me to come and offer myself for the position of LC5 chairmanship in Maracha District Local Government. Briefly, Maracha District was established in 2010, 1st of July. So if you calculate from 2010 to date, it's around 15 years. And if you take the population census carried by UBOS, which we don't really agree with the statistics, because you cannot do census and you come and say this thing was like this, this like this. Maracha District has 234,712. Out of that, we have 109,515 males and 125,167 females. So if you take the statistics, the population of Maracha District alone, out of this, 10% of this population can raise their heads in the community to say that I'm a human being. Now, against all these statistics, I've come with only 5 strategic critical areas where the address can be made for our people. As being local council 5, you are the president of the district. And all the developmental, the backsays, the upwards of the district, you are the one to take the mantle. And to take the mantle, you must be a competent person, a corruption-free person, non-tribalistic, and you must diagnose now the community issues before you start your work. 1, if you take the health sector, I start in my profession because I've understood what health means to our people. Maracha district, as my incoming member of parliament for Maracha East constituency, alluded very well that Maracha district is sick health-wise. Because if you take the statistics which he gave, and the Maracha district was the 3rd last. So there, that one sets a lot of tears, because an healthy community is really a dead community. We have hospital, we don't have hospital in Maracha district. And it's a district which has stayed for 15 years. And our people, our leaders, the politicians, they are dodging their political responsibility. Because if you don't take your political responsibility, who will take for you? We are here as a DP. But what I've seen in our district, people serve party affairs, they don't serve their community. Especially, I'm sorry to say this, and for record purpose I have to say, because we are here for what? For the betterment of our people. Our brothers and sisters from the yellow, the NRM side, they don't really serve the affairs of the community. They serve the interests of the party. That's why I use the decisions of the country is made in the Chairperson. Whenever they are called to that side, I don't fear to say this. Whenever they call that side, they will come with the mind of a psychopath. A psychopath always just say, yes, people. Yes. Who has voted you in, you forget completely. My candidate is not for psychopaths, is not to serve party affairs. People first. People first. How can I move with heads up when I see a pregnant mother being carried on a motorcycle, a child being convulsing, not missing the health facility? Yeah, we have the infrastructures. Health facility is not all about infrastructure. It comprises of the infrastructure, the building, the human resource, the supplies and the salaries, and the service itself. But mostly in our facilities, especially Maracha, we have infrastructures. We don't have services. And why are we not having services? The reason being that we have a poor and sick leadership who always speak about themselves. You occupy the office, you enjoy the office. Being a leader is not being in the office. You move to the grassroots to diagnose community problems. Like for me, I'm a health worker. When a person comes in front of me, mine is to take the comprehensive history, identify the complaint, investigation, put the right diagnosis, and put the right prescription for the treatment. But our leaders, what do? You are sick, get Panadol, go home. Panadol treats one. May I pay? That is examples of the leaders we have. For me, I'm already in office, go with this. But I'm kind of a leader who will diagnose community problems very correctly and give the right prescription. Let's go to road infrastructure. Maracha district always receives 1 billion for road. And that money falls in the docket of LC5, who supervises. It's one of the roles of LC5, by the way, to supervise services at the district level. Now, what happens? Go to Maracha, go to Lower Tara Belt, go to Orovo Belt, go to Ibu Belt, go to Oleva Belt. You will really set tears. And here, the market. We have market from Kovoko, we have market from Kongo side. Because of poor road network, our people are unable to access those markets. In turn, what happens? The poverty level. There's a really striking poverty level in our people, in the district of Maracha. And this calls for concerted effort. I'm one kind of leader who always say, we can do, not I can do. Because one person cannot do one thing alone. The third area is education. Our district, if you take our district in education, our district is among the least districts in education level. Now, what happens? The school dropout rate in the district is 88%. It's only 12% which feeds from P1 to P7. Why? Yeah, the blame game is teachers, headmaster, but the blame game should be from bottom to top. Mindset change for our parents. Parents take responsibility. The teachers also take responsibility. The leaders now, we take now the much responsibility. The supervision of our institution is not all up to date. And it is now the mandate of we. I always say we, media inclusive, because media plays very important role. Much as sometimes they are blocked from covering the realities, but media, please go ahead and do for us the needful. Because in a special way, by the way, and in a special way, I want to thank one of the media guys here by the name of Osuta. Osuta is one man in the media front who has stood his ground. He's here. And then he's one of the bloggers who is fighting for us corruption in Maracha. People blackmail him, people do what, but he's one of the people who has enlightened Maracha district. As far as self-delivery is concerned, corruption is concerned. And to summarize, me as a Kubwa failure, I want to bring peace among Maracha district. Because Maracha, I'm running as an LC5, not for Maracha East, not for Maracha constituency, as a Maracha district. We have division in Maracha. Maracha has been divided into two, Maracha East and Maracha constituency. There's a narrative where I say Maracha district is taken up by people of Maracha East constituency. That one has really deterred development in Maracha. Who brings this division is we as leaders, because we preach party politics, politics of divisionism, politics of hatred. I stand here to bring politics of brotherhood, politics of ideas, politics of development, politics of togetherness. I say all this for God and my country.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Philiam Aikubwa, our incoming chairperson for Maracha District. I now take this opportunity to unveil yet another eminent person for Terego District. You're welcome.
DP Uganda way. DP Northern Uganda way. DP West Nile way. President of the Democratic Party, Council Aliti Elia, the MPs, my colleagues, LC5, candidates, the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting our senior citizen, called the Mamba Boy. I can remember. By name, I'm called Ben Umar from Terego District. I'm sub-county on Paris, Awala village. I am a senior nursing officer who has served both public and private facilities of this disorganized Uganda, and I've come out from those dilapidated hospitals because I've now seen us from West Nile rising to power. When I hear of Honorable His Excellency Alitia, Council Alitia, becoming the President of Uganda, taking the DP, becoming the President, I said for me I cannot stay at home, I cannot stay in those facilities without drugs. I better go and follow him because a true leader has come. Members of West Nile, this is West Nile team, we have problems nationally and local. Not for bad, for long we have been led by our worst. Our worst. Our leaders have been the worst people. And the others are thieves. I cannot fear to say this. Thieves mixed with the worst people. That is for over 35 years, the NRM has led us. And we have suffered it enough. I love DP because of its genuineness, truth, and justice. And I'm there. I'm going to be the LC5 Chairperson of Terego District. Today is not my day, but the roles, my roles of being the LC5, as I said before, we have problems, local or national. But in Terego, since I told you we have been led by our worst leaders, Terego has divided itself into villages. People cannot greet themselves in the offices. People cannot take water in meetings. So, a role of an LC5 is to monitor service delivery. You cannot greet with the civil servants. You cannot talk with people. You don't eat together. How will you? What will you monitor? I'm coming there to say from today, as I unveil my candidature, this unit has ended. In the names of DP and in the names of Uganda, that this unit in Terego has ended. Me, I'm going to formulate an agenda, cultural agenda, educational agenda, all these agendas that I'm supposed to, as LC5, I'm supposed to formulate the agenda, monitor services, monitor administrative units, but my core duty there is going to form agendas for all the dilapidated structures, administrative structures, roads, health centers, schools, cultural disunits. I'm going to make a strategy to formulate an agenda to bring the people of Terego together. As I said, this unit has ended in the name of our President, Council, Alia Elitia. Thank you so much. I don't want to waste a lot of time here. For God and my country.
Thank you, our various aspirants. And as I promised earlier, these are just a few. In our subsequent engagements, we are going to interface with more. Ladies and gentlemen, I have come to a small segment of this meeting to bring in a national picture to our agenda. Earlier on, I did say, today we're here to witness a unique opportunity. The first time ever, West Nile is going to present a presidential candidate in our national elections. I did say we are going to achieve this in 2 phases. The first phase is to clean and reclaim the rule in the Democratic Party. I have come to take a few seconds to present a little bit of our agenda before I usher in our presidential candidate. I would like to say again, my name is Sunday Asau. Currently, I serve in the office of the Vice President in Northern Uganda. At the same time, I speak for this campaign. I also intend to reclaim a position in our National Executive Committee on the 30th of May 2025. That is the Deputy National Secretary for International Relations. This means when we receive the instruments of power from our Chief Justice, either in January or February 2026, I am going to be the Minister for Foreign Affairs. I am categorical about this because this is going to happen. And I remind you again, we have 266 days to reach there. We have a dysfunctional Democratic Party right now. Our forefathers of the party are crying. We have a party that is resourced but looted to a level where it does not function. I am starting as a Deputy President in International Relations because I'm aware bosses don't work. It is the deputies who work. So I am deliberately going from this position to organize our international relations as a party and as a country. My drive is on 2 specs: strategy and lasting impact. As a party, it is a shame that we don't have a strategy for international relations. Because we do not have a strategy, there are no policies to guide our international relations. Therefore, I'm offering myself to put these 2 in place. With the proper strategy, with the right policies for our international relations, we hope to achieve 2 things: good diplomacy and also good international relations. And the diplomacy and international relations are going to translate into resources for the Democratic Party and also good relations with friendly forces and also forces that are not friendly to us. With that summary, I would therefore like to stop here, and before we move forward and before we move to our next big agenda for today, I would like to inform you that with us we have a number of candidates for various positions in our district local councils. I'm now going to give the opportunity to each of them in 1 minute, to say your name and the position you aspire to lead in. And from there, we shall then move to our big agenda for the day. Without wasting time, with me, I have an upcoming mayor for the city of Leju, for the town council of Leju, Terego. Sir, in one word, come and introduce yourself and you greet the media. Welcome.
It's a great pleasure. Thanks to God and for this great day. My name is called Christopher Duro, Lord Mayor, Leju Terego District, Leju Town Council. I am Lord Mayor in waiting, and I thank God for this great day where we have come to initiate a program which brings out Westline TP Forum on the national platform. Without wasting time, as I've been given just a few or a minute to say something, I would like to say that my legacy is the 4-component program giving out my political aspirations, my advocacy, my agenda, and then the action plan forward. Otherwise, not to waste much of our time, as it has been said before, my agenda is based on, it includes land wrangles, social services, in which injustice has been seen, in socio-economic transformation services, health services, educational services, activities of investors and innovators, activities of thieves, policy issues, and the sufferings and killings of Ugandan citizens in the DRC and South Sudan, road accessibility, having hot spots, and then in-season politicians, and then professionalism, which has also been lost. In the suffering, the relationship we have between Uganda and South Sudan, we have cases where 17 vehicles were impounded on the transit, and then almost on a daily basis, every Ugandan is losing his life across in South Sudan, and these are some of our concerns. We have lost 800 million GDP through the activities of thieves in Terego, Maracha, and other places, by the way of thieves who go across at night in vehicles and take up our animals. So these are some of the things, and now some of the activities of these investors and innovators in particular, upon which citizens in Arua lost about 600 million when investors came in the names of a promotional innovation to purchase or to sell out, to give out motorbikes, in which they connived with some of the local authority, and they managed to swindle 600 million from the citizens in way of promotional business. That is
now running out.
Vehicles, motorbikes on sale, and they swindled the money from the citizens. Without wasting time, may the Lord bless you. Injustice has been much in our communities, and truth has been denied to us. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the moment. This is a long-awaited day. This is a day of history. This is a day of a new journey. I would now like to take this opportunity to welcome. And before I do that, may I kindly request all of us to stand up as we welcome. As I give this opportunity now to our first ever presidential candidate for the Democratic Party, who in turn will be the first ever presidential candidate from our region of West Nile. Honorable, you're most welcome.
Can everybody take their seats? My name is Arua. I am the outgoing Vice President for the Democratic Party. I want to thank God for this very important day. It's a day that He created in the history of West Nile that will happen history. For you who have come here to witness and be part of this day, I'm very grateful to you all. I want to thank the press for coming up with these numbers to come and cover this very important day. The press has always been a friend of DP, West Nile, DP National. We want to salute you and also offer you our special appreciation for always working with us. I want to recognize the presence of the Maracha through one of the ministers here, also a senior citizen in West Nile, the Honorable Jafari Alekwa. He's called, his other name is Mama Paul. We'll give him an opportunity after my address to help us understand what Mama means, but also what Maracha is doing in West Nile. I'm blessed behind me here to have our candidates who have spoken to you, who are going to be leading in the coming administration that is starting next year. The Honorable Sandy had mentioned the number of days that we are left to that day. There are so many of them here, but there are so many of them who have also not come here. And they'll be talking to you in subsequent meetings. I have been Vice President for 10 years. I got elected Vice President in 2015. I wanted to implement a mission for DP in Northern Uganda. And the most critical was building party structures in the north. The second thing I wanted to do was restoring our membership of DP in the north. I wanted to create offices for all DP branches in the north. I wanted to work with the people, recruit leaders, train them, and deploy them to go and lead. And I wanted to make DP the biggest political brand in West Nile. In my 10 years of service, I want to confess that I did not achieve what I intended to do for DP in Northern Uganda. When I talk about DP in Northern Uganda, my area starts from Karamoja, Lango, Acholi, and West Nile. Just imagine if I did all those four things in 10 years, how DP will be looking right now. There's a reason why I did not succeed. And why I did not succeed is because a fish starts rotting from the head. I have been in the middle here in the region, serving a political party whose leadership is rotten, upset, and concerned, and not caring about the affairs of the party in the whole country. Now, if it's the whole country, it means this leader doesn't care about the affairs of the parties in the regions. And now what happens in the districts is the obvious one. And that's what we have seen. A DP that is hugely divided without any political direction. We have a party president who has been in power for 15 years with no tangible evidence of accountability to say in my region as the northern region. We have a party president who, after not serving the party, has decided to take us to what we did not imagine that would happen in the life of the Democratic Party. Taking us to an agreement with the National Resistance Movement, whose achievements to our people in Uganda have largely been retrogressive development, corruption, killing of people, human rights abuses, and all other injustices. And all this partnership has put DP almost at the point of death. I'm here today to say there is hope again for DP. There is hope again for DP in Uganda, and we're going to do our best to make sure DP gets back to its original political space and asserts its political power and mandate to lead Uganda into good governance, constitutionalism, rule of law, equal opportunities, and a strong economy for this country. These are the things that we have not got from NRM. The NRM came to power and they promised four things actually. Patriotism, which is very upset. Nationalism, we are divided. They promised democracy, we are being killed. And they promised Pan-Africanism. And now the son of the president is declaring war with all our neighboring states. Is that Pan-Africanism? Is that the fundamental change they talked about? DP cannot partner with criminals. And that's what I'm declaring here today, that the end of that criminality is over. Our party deserves a leadership that is for God and that works for Ugandans. West Nile has been betrayed by this government for a long time. We have been denied our political rights, our social rights, our economic rights. We have been denied our cultural rights. And there's not been anybody among us here who will rise up and say these things and call the state to order. Enough is enough. I am not the oldest in West Nile. I'm not the most intelligent. I'm not the most spiritual. But because all these have not been in the space here, I have offered myself as the sacrificial lamb to take the mount of West Nile, to take the mount of Uganda and bring development to our region and also nationally. I come here as a candidate of truth and justice. Our country needs truth and justice. Our country needs a new direction. Our country needs unity, national unity. Our country needs to express development. We have waited for our leaders who we thought would be doing this. A lot of them got diverted, including our president who said if you are chasing after an elephant, do not follow a rabbit that appears on the way. Now our president, Robert Mao, is after a rabbit. He left the elephant. We do not know as the Democratic Party where the elephant is going anymore. We have had such leaders in northern Uganda, in West Nile here. A lot of them have been taken away, diverted because of monetary issues. A lot of them have sold their political rights because they want personal finances to develop their households, develop their personal projects. What about our people? Every day when we move around, we see our women carrying firewood. If you use the river road here, you see them in abundance, carrying firewood, coming here to the city. Our incoming mayor said, once they reach here, they are denied space to sell this in our markets here. When they want to sell on the streets, they are also evicted by law enforcement. I mean, there's not been leaders who talk about this. You go to the hospital here, what do you see? Thousands of people lining up for service, but very few workers. Recently, the administration head of the hospital in Arua said out of the total number of health workers, only 23% is constituted. And this is a regional referral hospital that serves our people here, the 4.9 people in West Nile, the refugee population, and the people who are from the neighboring countries, Congo, South Sudan. No healthcare. You go to our schools, there's no supervision taking place in the schools. And what our people and our leaders decided to do, take their children to Kampala. And now those people in Kampala, because the same services have failed there, take their children to other countries in Asia, in Europe, in America, and because they can afford. Our healthcare that's broken here, our leaders do not treat themselves here. Ours here in West Nile go to Kampala, and the ones in Kampala go to Nairobi in Aga Khan Hospital. They go to hospitals in America, in Europe, and our people continue to die. There's a lot of national breakdown of services, and that's what we want to address through this announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not know everything myself, but I believe there are so many Ugandans who have been denied the opportunity to offer their technical expertise on account of tribalism and employing people using the method of friends, relatives, and in-laws, who we see abundantly in all our state apparatus, ministries, departments, and agencies, not on account of their competence and their technical training. This is what we want to resolve. I will work with Ugandans to ensure that people who are qualified are deployed in the rightful areas. It was announced that we are going to do this in a two-phased manner, and the first phase is organizing the Democratic Party. A party I love, a party I've served, and a party that has done its best for Uganda. DP's legacy in Uganda is not disputable. What we only have right now are bad leaders who are leading the party, but a very good political party. Our history tells you that without the Democratic Party, there will be no political governance in this country. We are the first political party that was registered here on the 6th of October 1954, so many years before independence. And actually, it is DP that fought for the independence of Uganda with other Ugandans, which was God. And DP's first government that has not been recognized right now, that lasted for 9 months, is the one that set the political base for Uganda. Today, when our children are asked who is the first Prime Minister of Uganda, they mention Obote. No, the first Prime Minister of Uganda is actually Ben Kiwanuka, who was the first Prime Minister but also the leader of government. 9 months. And Ben led the political foundation for this country. From that point on, Democratic Party now got cheated by various other governments. The Museveni government cheated us. In 1980 elections, 4 candidates ran for that election, and Museveni was number last with about 176,000 votes, and he was the very person who went to the booth fighting for a rigged election, and yet it was a DP election that was rigged. 1980 elections, we lost the opportunity to serve. 1986, when President Museveni's guerrilla movement became now non-government, they had no people other than guerrillas who did not know how to run government. And they had to come to DP, who gave them the technical manpower to start government on the account of the fundamental change, which change got drifted from and was replaced by family rule of President Museveni. That made our leaders to decamp from the Museveni camp. In 1996, Dr. Paul Kawanga Semogerere took our flag in partnership with other political parties, and the UPC went around the counter and they had a very powerful campaign. Again, this was another moment when DP was denied leadership. Dr. Semogerere, we believe, won the election, but he was denied by the same Museveni. 2001, Kizza Besigye used our DP base to launch his reform agenda, and then later, the FDC, which turned to fight DP. 2016, Amama Babas used DP, and after launching a successful campaign, we are just lucky he did not form a political party. And now, 2019, 2020, the Honorable Bobby Wine again used our base, the DP base. And so Bobby Wine, after using the DP base, turned it into Noop, when with our MPs, with our councillors, with our members, particularly in the central region. And these are moments, several moments, in which DP has been denied its political mandate and its opportunity to form government and lead Uganda. Now, at this current point, our own President General decided now to hand over the Democratic Party to the National Resistance Movement Chairman, the President Museveni, which happened and which led to a cooperation agreement they signed. We have come to a point where we say enough is enough. Our campaign is based on the slogan of a turning point for the Democratic Party. A turning point for the Democratic Party means we now have to, as DP, arise and take our political rights in our hands, use them for the good of the party, and then build political power in the party that is capable enough to capture political power from the National Resistance Movement. That's what I'm announcing today. To any member of DP who is listening to us from the diaspora, in any part of Uganda, we are announcing that we are coming. I'll be running for president of the party, and I want to do the things that I'm going to mention. And these are very important things that I believe must be done to make sure we have a democratic party that is back again, that is valid, that is vocal, that is visible by anybody in Uganda. And I want to say again, we want to build a DP that is valid, that is vocal, and that's very visible. So that our members will have hope again, so that our leaders will have hope again, so that we will have credible people like this and so many others once again come to DP and seek leadership to go serve Ugandans for God and for our people here. I have a goal for this campaign, and the goal is to build a solid and compromising, conquering spirit of patriotism, democracy, constitutionalism, and nationalism among DP members. We have lacked this kind of energy. Now I want to bring it back. And I want to assure members we're going to have a DP that is strong enough to defeat any political power, all evil intentions, all attacks that will be targeted towards us, and that's what I'm here to lead. I will lead from the front line. Now we have priorities that we want to implement, and these priorities are what I believe, if implemented, will change the status quo of what we are seeing in DP and turn it for the better for Uganda, for the better for the party, and for the better for all our members across Uganda. Number one, and the most important, is the issue of leadership development. I want to work with these leaders, recruit them, hear their needs. A lot of them have suffered in political campaigns before because of diversion of resources at the National Leadership Center, our party headquarters. A lot of them ran campaigns here that were not supported, ran campaigns without posters, ran campaigns without financing. This is what we want to address nationally. We want all our DP leaders to be given the rightful capacity, to be given training, and to be given the resources so that they're able to run and compete very favorably with other candidates in other political parties. And once I get the mandate of our people, this is what I'm going to implement with them. Number two, and very important, I want to unite DP. Right now we are divided. Our people here, our leaders here talked about disunity, but it's the worst in DP right now. We do not have a house that is holy. Our house is so divided. We have different political camps, and these political camps are building different formations and all work in different directions. So my second important point is to unite all political factions in DP and make all of us work in a team. In a team. There are factions led by so many people in Uganda. There are those in the north, there are those in the east. We want to bring all these factions into one formation. And my leadership is going to make sure I reach to all these people and get them to the table of talking good things for the party, not bad things. We have destroyed ourselves as leaders of the party. We have attacked each other, and we have sowed a seed of division among our members. And that is what I want to work on. I want the disunity in the party to stop, and we build a party that's united. Number three, I want to build credible, valid structures of the party at the grassroots up to the national level. Center of political activity is at the grassroots. Center of political activity is in the village, is in the parish, and is in the sub-county. A political party based and built in that kind of manner will be a very strong political party, capable of electing candidates from the village, the most important unit of our nation, the LC5. We want to build capacity to make sure DP has candidates for all the 70,000 plus villages who will be running for LC1. And this will build structures for the parish and elect leaders there. They will build structures for the sub-counties and elect leaders there. And then these structures from the village up to the parish and sub-county will be able to elect our MPs, our LC5, and the president. Our current leadership has been failing because our party has been operated from the headquarters, detached even from the regions, detached from the sub-regions and the districts. And that's why we are really very weak. And so if we build grassroots structures using a bottom-up approach, we will be able to have a very strong and working political party and support the Democratic Party. I want to restore our membership. We are going to do a national membership recruitment. There's one we are doing right now. This is simply for the National Delegates Conference. And this is being organized by our leaders who are actually working for themselves. They are handpicking people to form delegates. And this is a dangerous way of recruiting party members. People are not being recruited because they love DP and values of the party. They are being recruited because they are relatives of people who are in power in the party. And that means we are going to have a very fake list of delegates who might not elect the correct leadership in the party. But we know what we are going to do to make sure that our team will win this election. And after that, we want to go and announce a national restoration of our membership, but also recruitment of membership. And we want to implement reforms in our membership recruitment. One, do a digital registration of our members. Two, do digital subscription of our members, so that our members who are in the diaspora will have the opportunity to register as party members and subscribe annually to the party, even when they are outside this country. And the same for those who are in Uganda. I want to, immediately after winning this election, with the team here and the team at national level, identify more capable leaders and train them, build their capacity to be able to run for different national positions from the national level up to the grassroots. And this way, DP is going to be competing for the over 2 million positions that are available for occupation in Uganda. I want to establish offices for the party, and to establish offices at the national level. We have a headquarters. I want to establish very functional regional secretariats, one for the northern region, another for the eastern region, for the Uganda region, and for western region. Then thereafter, we will establish sub-regional offices. DP has 16 sub-regions, political sub-regions, and that's what Uganda has also. We are going to open offices in these 16 sub-regions to coordinate activities taking place in those sub-regions. We now want to also build structures, political offices for all districts, and we shall be launching this in Maracha on the 26th of April. We will be opening a district office for Maracha district branch, and we are going to cascade this nationally. And now the type of offices we shall open in the new administration will not be renting political offices. We have seen that is unsustainable. We want to be building offices, our own offices. We are going to be allocating 2 million shillings only. Land in the districts, in constituencies is cheap. 2 million can acquire land, 1 million for land registration so that we have a title, and then we will work with the members of the party at the constituencies and the districts to get manpower, to get local materials. Our members can lay bricks, and our members have builders among them, engineers among them. Our members have all the skills, technical skills that we need to construct an office. We will work with them, and the party will give a facilitation of 10 million per constituency for them to buy iron seats, timber, roof their houses, so that they have a working space. That is not going to be paid for, and that's free of charge. And we think with 2 million we can buy even 1 acre in a rural constituency, and that is possible. There are over 300 constituencies, and we are going to build in the next couple of years in all those constituencies offices where our party members can be able to do their party activities without interruption. I went to Tanzania a few years ago, and I traveled on the road. Every trading center had the flags of the 3 dominant political parties: the Chama cha Mapinduzi, the ruling party in Tanzania, the Chadema, the opposition, and the Civic United Front. Their flags were everywhere, and I was shocked. And I thought, this is possible. We can do it for the Democratic Party and have our flags flying everywhere in all the constituencies, and we'll even empower the constituencies to do the same in the sub-counties. And we know how we're going to do that. I want to rebrand DP, and make sure DP's original colors are the dominant in Uganda. Now, in my plan, in the next 5 years, we are going to distribute 1 million promotional materials. And these are going to be shirts, caps, t-shirts, and other materials. And I promise, in the next 5 years, we are going to work very hard to promote our emblem across the the country. We are going to market and promote our party simple, which is a whole that represents the backbone of Uganda, agriculture. In 2025, Uganda still eats from the whole. I don't know if there's anybody here who doesn't have a hoe in their home. And now when you have a hoe, you know you're a DP member automatically. And so we want to give you more hoes. And make sure Ugandans not like hoe. We want to even build factories that are going to be processing hoes. Yes, so that hoes become cheaper for people to do agriculture. And that doesn't mean we're not going to have tractors. We will have a lot of them. We're going to have a lot of innovations applied here. We want to even bring drones, DP drones. They'll be flying around, spraying our fruits, taking carbon credit coverage, and taking our environmental pictures using satellite. And so a lot of these things are going to be coming. And so, but the whole is very important. We want to distribute it in all households in Uganda and make sure everybody knows that is through the whole that will have food security, that will have nutrition for our families, and that will have money, basic money, to be able to educate our children, give them good health care and other needs. I want to ensure our party organs function. In my 10 years of being a national leader in the party, vice president, we have had leg meetings not exceeding 50. Yet every month we're supposed to have a national executive committee meeting. Every year we're supposed to have a national council meeting. And every year we're supposed to have an annual delegates conference meeting for the party. These have not been done, and it's because our leaders have been doing wrong things. They have been fearing accountability. They have been been tasked by our leaders, our members. And so I want the party organs to function from the national level up to the grassroots, so that decisions in the party are taken by the owners of the party and rightful leaders of the party, and implemented for the good of the party across Uganda. I want to ensure our leaders are given incentives. This has been a big problem. My 10 years of being a vice president, I want to say, has been with a lot of difficulty. I have been working for the party using my personal resources. We have a budget as a party, and this budget is not being decentralized. This budget is being used only around the headquarters. Our party receives 1.5 billion from the government through the IPOD contribution. Our party receives other funds from donors annually, and this money has not been used to build the capacity of leaders in the party. I want to promise and pledge to our leaders that we are going to give them support, capacity, but also resources to be able to function and operate. We have a party president who doesn't sit at the secretariat. We have a secretary general who doesn't sit at the secretariat. We have all other national executive committee leaders who don't sit at the secretariat to do the party work. And these people contribute in a week not more than 10 hours for the work of the DP for which they are elected. And that's because they are doing other things. Now our president is a minister, he's a full-time minister. He does the ministry work every day. And he is absent at the party headquarters. Our Secretary General is absent not in the headquarters, not in Uganda, but outside Uganda. He sits in Arusha, and while in Arusha, he doesn't do the work of the party here. He is supposed to be the executive head of our administration at the party headquarters. And that has to be sorted out. Through our incentivizing offices, we want DP leaders to work full-time at the secretariat, at the regional secretariats, at the districts, so that they're able to do party work on daily basis. And so we're going to be paying them allowances, and with these allowances we're going to raise them from our donors. There are so many of them we're going to build relationships with, and we'll make sure that these funds are used to build capacity of our leaders, but also to support our activities of the party across the country. I want to improve on our Democratic Party activities that have not been done nationally. DP has not been having activities apart from press conferences at headquarters. We have not been explaining our party manifesto to the people. We have not been explaining our party manifesto to the leaders, even in the party. And now, I want us to go and explain these things to the citizens of this country so that they understand what the DP has to offer for the country. Number two, I want our leadership be able to explain our DP policies. DP has very beautiful policies. And these policies are not known to government because the alternative policy positions on all the core sectors of government. We have policies that have been addressing gaps in government administration, and these were developed in accordance with the National Development Plan 3. And now we have National Development Plan 4, and we make sure these policies are actually updated, but also are brought to the attention of government. And that's when we are still not in government. But now when we're in government, we are going to be implementing the National Development Plan, the Vision 2040, and other national visions. But yet, it's very important for us to let our people understand what plans, what policies DP has for Uganda. And members of the press, I want to say we want to improve our working relations with the press. In my administration, we're going to work with media houses and ensure that the fourth estate is treated fairly. We all saw what happened in Kawembe, where the members of the fourth estate were actually attacked, beaten, and almost killed. And this is what has been done by the government in power. When DP leadership, which was a lead to power, is there, we want to build our relations with the fourth estate and ensure we do a very credible relations building with members of the fourth estate, so that our message will reach Ugandans and we are able to collectively deliver our promise of good governance and democracy to our people in this country. And now there are other plans that I will continue talking about to the different branches of DP. Our task force at the region here is going to do that job to reach all districts in West Nile, and we have regional task forces in all the 16 sub-regions. Others have been developed, but there are those that are already in existence. We will share our message, our plans, and our beautiful manifesto with all the party members across, and then when the delegates list is out, we will be able to ensure that we talk to the delegates and explain our plan of action. And ladies and gentlemen, at the second phase of our journey to state power, we're going to look at Uganda. And again, at that point, I call it a turning point for Uganda. And in this turning point for Uganda, we have 10 fundamental things that we want to do for the new Uganda that we all yearn for. And these are things that we believe that when the party members and delegates give me the mandate, we will be able to immediately implement. The DP's National Delegates Conference is a primary election for the presidential candidate. And if our team and our campaign wins from the Delegates Conference, it means we are only going to have 3 months to unveil an agenda to Uganda. Now I want to show the country and tell them that we have the ideas and the plans for Uganda already. And I'm just going to be very brief with them because our commitment right now, the concentration right now, is yet organizing the DP and taking the DP and placing its administration in the correct hands. But when we come to the level of speaking to Ugandans, I promise that my leadership with the team we're going to be will have to work around to restore Uganda to God. Very important. Uganda is a country for God, and it should be a country for God's people here. Just a week ago, we have been seeing a physical God operating in Arua. A God who came here and said there will be no rain, and there was rain immediately after that. A God whose phone was stolen. A God who needed protection from our UPDF. A God who was guided by the police force here. And a God who was walking bare feet. He didn't have shoes. And now there's so many of these gods confusing people across Uganda. And these gods are actually coming from the State House of Uganda. Because if they were not coming from there, a good government will say no to witchcraft, no to idolatry, no to worship of idols. Our constitution says freedom of worship. But it doesn't mean you worship any god, even gods who do not have shoes. Now our constitution says freedom of worship to the true God, the Almighty God. And that's what we want to put in order. We have been punished by God because we are worshipping idols. We have turned away. We are not following the correct order of nature. And that's what we want to correct. Ugandans are created by God, and the God who is invisible, and the God who created the earth and the heaven. That's the God we are going to worship. Not the ones who come to Arua here. And these ones should know that that was their last time of coming to confuse our people here. From next year, there will be no foreign God in Uganda. We are going to be worshiping the true God. Number two, we want to invest in our people. Our leaders here talked about the broken service delivery sectors. Now, investing in people means we are going to build capacities of our people. The technical people, once we build their capacity and deploy them in the rightful departments of government, these ones are going to build the capacity of our ordinary Ugandans. To ensure that there's a very direct flow and rapid flow of services from the national level to the grassroots. And that there's a very clear turn of feedback from the grassroots up to the government. And this is very important. This has not been happening. We have been having a political system that is confused. Everybody just saying NRM, but NRM has not translated into better healthcare, better education, better roads. When I talk about roads, and I even said tears, because this time we need 3 hours to travel from Arua to Levi district. 3 hours because of bad roads. And again, this is so bad. And so NRM is useless now, from now going forward. It's going to be DPOA. True for justice oil. That's what is going to happen from now going forward. We want to restructure governance structures in Uganda. We have a very huge and ugly administrative structure of government in Uganda, to the extent of those other people not knowing what they're supposed to do in government. The Americans did something very important. They created a department called Department of Government Efficiency. And right now they're dealing with all nonsense there. And that's what we want to implement in Uganda. We want to have a lean government from the top, but a broad government down here at the grassroots. So that there's no concentration of resources at the national level, but decentralizing resources to 60% in the regions, in the sub-regions, in the districts, in the sub-counties. And so that Uganda's money works for the people. So that Uganda's money works for Ugandans. And that's why it's important to restructure governance structures and making it very cost-effective. We have a parliament where the MPs don't know their names. They even don't remember their faces. And it's very bad. Uganda is just 45 million people, but we have 529 MPs. Someone's courage, I don't know what they're doing there. They don't know what they're doing there, they don't talk. Their role is only to earn money. And so they are not very important in that house. We respect our UPDF, and we believe that they should be operating under the Ministry of Justice, not just Ministry of Defense, but not in the Parliament. That's what we believe in. And on that Parliament, what are they doing? They are not even making for us laws. A lot of those MPs, if you ask them, what does our Constitution say in Article 66? Do you think they know what Article 66 knows? They talk about the penal code. Do they even know there's a law called the penal code? They don't know. They even don't know their parliamentary rules of procedure. And that's why a lot of them are abused. They don't know. They just wake up to vote. And so that parliament is a useless parliament as it is now. We want to make a parliament that is a national parliament. And that is a very few number of MPs who are doing the correct job. Not having a crowd there just to vote the ideas and evil plans of the regime. That's going to be dealt with. And yet we want to make sure our resources are used to increase the number of technical people. Our Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs is suffering. Ugandans are suffering because of that. Because there are a lot of cases that are not being resolved because of having few judges. There are very few prosecutors. There are very few magistrates and very few magisterial courts. And so justice is not being delivered properly. We want our money to go and employ more judges, more magistrates, prosecutors, and also we want our money to go and employ technical leadership at the districts, at the constituencies and other branches, so that Uganda's leadership is seen to be effective, efficient, and very proactive in the interest of the people, not in the interest of the appointing authority. We want to restructure our justice law and order sector. We have a Minister of Justice, our very honorable President Norbert Mao, who does not have the power to deliver justice. So Norbert Mao is watching over injustice happening in this country. He's the minister. He can't do anything about it. And because he's not in power, and it's because decisions are not made in the ministry, decisions are made somewhere else. He cannot even support his own people in the Acholi land. He cannot. We have our members in Acholi land who were in prison. They expected the Minister of Justice to be able to help. And did he help? No, he did not. We are having our people, the Acholi and the West Nile, almost at the level of killing each other over a power. And what is the Minister of Justice doing? He's not doing anything. I saw a video, a very bad video, of our people in Acholi. I love them a lot. But this video was giving us a picture that's going to make us go back to where we were in those very dark days. Arming themselves, calling themselves to rise against the population of Mali over power. It's very sad. I want to send that video with the 4 so that you know what I've seen there. It's so bad. And so if we have a Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, it should be doing the right thing. But the reform we want to bring there is to make sure that we have people in this country get access to justice in a manner that is rapid and credible, not what we see right now. We want to talk to Ugandans and see if it is very important to say that a lot of the people who are in the prisons are not actually the correct candidates for the prison sentence. But those who are outside the prisons and are in offices, in Parliament, in the ministries, stealing our money, are the ones who are supposed to be going there. So we want to ask Ugandans, is it okay that we, under the prerogative of the President, prerogative of mercy, pardon Ugandans who are in prisons? Get them out in a 2-year process where everybody is involved, and then get the rightful candidates of the prison where they belong. So that we have a country that doesn't have corruption, theft of our resources, and who are doing appointments based on relatives, friends, and in-laws. Those ones will be in those prisons, not the ones who are there. We'll talk more about that. I want to restructure our national security. Today, our national security is being discussed on social media, on X. It's being discussed on Facebook. It's being discussed with very beautiful women in bars. And that's been discussed by our Chief of Defense Forces. He has announced so many wars that are yet to start. A war with Kenya, where he has promised he will be taking over Nairobi in 2 weeks. He declared a war in Congo. He declared support for the rebel group in Ethiopia. He declared a war in South Sudan. And he said he wants to kill all the Nuer if they don't surrender to him. And that's how our national security is being discussed. And that's very bad. I want to tell these neighboring countries that we love them. We are their true friends. And I want to restore our foreign policy on security and peace, so that we are exporting peace, real peace, other than exporting this type of lousy, political, and reckless discussion of our security and foreign policy. We will restore the foreign policy, but also ensure that our men and women who are in the armed forces are there to defend Uganda, protect Uganda's space, geographical space, from danger. That's for the sake of the UPDF, and that the police are keeping law and order and not getting themselves involved in what is supposed to be done by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other ministries. Now, security in our sense does not only mean military security. Security also means food security. What do we eat? In Arua here, our food comes from so many other places. Our tomato, if you hold it and heat it down, doesn't break. I don't know what type of tomato that we are eating. That tomato is being treated with chemicals. And when we take it every day, we are not safe. Our meat is being treated with chemicals that are supposed to be used for preserving bodies, dead bodies. And we are eating it every day. And a lot of this meat comes from somewhere. And so our food, a lot of genetically modified food. Those days we used to eat cassava that grows for 2 years, 3 years. Our man from Lubarakari is here. But this time the cassava we eat only grows for 6 months. And everybody is going to hospital. Isn't there something that we have to concern ourselves about what we eat? Food security, beyond the abundance of food, but also what is in the food that we are eating. Our technical people in the Ministry of Agriculture should be doing the correct research. If something is called genetically modified, who is modifying these genes that we are trying to put here? What are the objectives? We want to plant genetically modified seeds that are approved and also whose genes are crossed by our own scientists in Uganda. Not the genes crossed somewhere else. And so that when the seeds come here, they actually kill our productivity. This time we plant maize that cannot yield the second season. Yet our maize seeds used to yield for over 10. You plant, harvest, dry it, keep it for the next season. But this time we only grow maize once. And we even need fertilizer to grow it. And so a lot of things are happening. We need to investigate our food. We need to investigate our healthcare system. The drugs we take. Our drugs are not manufactured in Uganda. They are manufactured elsewhere. And on those other drugs, their packaging, it is written for export only in Uganda and Kenya. For instance, I've seen drugs like this. Why are we targeted? And is our Ministry of Health taking concern about this? And now a lot of these drugs we have here have been sold by the Indians, by other people in the pharmacies we have here, do not actually cure malaria. I know so many types of cocktail in the market. They tell this one, you can try it, it's 2,500. And this one, the same cotton, is 5,000. And so there are grades of cotton, and now there are also grades of malaria, I guess. So that's the one you get. And so that's how bad our healthcare system is. And we want to use our Ministry of Health to investigate who are these pharmaceutical companies. What is their interest? Why are their drugs not treating our diseases and the diseases are getting cured? Everybody here has or majority of the people here are suffering from ulcers. What is causing it? Why are we not asking these critical questions as a country? They said our leaders that can do political leadership. They are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in the leadership space. Our healthcare needs to be investigated, and we need to have pharmaceutical companies that are domiciled in Uganda and supervised by our Ministry of Health so that we know what they are producing there. That's what we want. We are taking herbal medicine that is being manufactured in China, and yet they get these trees from Uganda, from Congo here. Can we build capacity of our herbalists? It's possible. So that our herbal supplements are those that we know where they're coming from. And there are a lot of entrepreneurs who can actually do that. And so if the government can build their capacity and we're able to ensure that our healthcare is proper. We will do so for our traditional and cultural institutions. A lot of them this time work for the regime. They do not work for their institutions, but also for their people. They are being used to do wrong things. We want to have discussions with them and ensure that we are able to make our traditional and cultural institutions work for their people. Food security is a very important component of all traditional and tribal institutions. Can we work with them to make sure all our men and women and children have enough food? That they're going to schools and getting the correct education, and that they are traveling on good roads, they have markets, they have opportunities. And this is what we promised to Lubarakari, but also promised to other chiefdoms, kingdoms across Uganda. We want to build their capacity and work with them. We want to build a new constitutional consensus for this country, for Uganda, and this will tackle the issue of administrative units. Uganda is being divided into clans, as they say. into small communities of people. Now we want to do a proper devolution, and this will be in the interest of decentralizing political resources, power, and efficiency, government efficiency from the top, but making sure from the top it is lean and it's broad at the grassroots. We want to use our natural resources for Uganda. We have oil, that oil is being called my oil. And so there's a road at one of the oil. We have our gold, we don't know who is mining our gold, and the money doesn't go to Ugandans. We have our forests, we have our animals in the game parks and game reserves. We have other rare earth minerals in this country. Uganda is one of those countries that has a lot of these minerals. And yet these have not been used for the good of the people. Our minerals have been used to benefit those who are in power, and that's why a lot of mineral licenses are enacted by the State House, but not by the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development. And why are they enacted and given through the State House? Because it serves the interest of those who are in government at the State House. It doesn't serve the interest of Ugandans. Now, the reform we want to bring is to make sure when we come to power, we will cancel all mineral agreements and revise them so that we have the rightful investors who mine our minerals and mine them in the interest of Uganda. Process them here and use those minerals to be produced for the country, not for one or two families. We also want that there should be a very fair share model of mineral resources, and that 40% of the mineral wealth benefits that community. I always give an example with Karamota sub-region. They have gold, and their gold does not translate into good livelihood for them. A lot of Karamajong walk naked. A lot of them do not have good housing, good healthcare, good medicine, and yet they have gold. Where are their children begging in Kampala? It pains me because that's the region I've been representing. As part of my administration, that's ending. I've been representing Karamota, Lango, Acholi, and West Nile. And I've seen our mineral wealth in these places here have not been serving the population. And so 40% will work for the population, address their socio-economic, cultural, and other needs. At 20% to be for the regional administration. And then at 40% now will be for the national redistribution. And that way our minerals will work for the people, but not for individuals in power. And finally, we have been having a problem with corruption. And this is because appointments have been done on the basis of family relations, tribal relations, and not on the basis of competence and technical expertise. And now this has led to corruption. Every year, our government acknowledges that 10 trillion shillings is stolen by this type of people who employ. Not our leaders here, but those who are employed by the NRM. They steal our resources, and they are not taken to courts. If they are taken there, they are always given bond or bail, and they don't go to court again. That's always the end of it. Now in our administration, we are not going to be fighting corruption. We are going to be fighting the corrupt. And that way we shall kill corruption. Thank you so much for listening to me. I am very committed that we are going to deliver change, first of all in the DP, and after getting the leadership of DP and the members' mandate, we now will do the things that I've mentioned above. For Uganda, to turn Uganda as a country that belongs to God, but also for Ugandans. To give Ugandans a life that is of dignity and of safety, life that is supported by the government, not life that is killed and destroyed by the government. I want to work for the people, I will work with the people, and I will work for our God, and I will make sure that our country worships God, and that God is blessing our administration, God is blessing every family, is blessing every Ugandan, so that we truly see a dispensation of prosperity and national unity in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today, but this is just the beginning. We are going to continue talking about this vision, our dream, but also our plans to Uganda. We want to listen to Ugandans across the country. We want to listen to their needs and put them as part of our manifesto that we're going to build and use that to make their lives better. Thank you so much. And with my leaders here, we promise that West Nile is going to see the proper and excellent change that we have been yearning for. Our marginalization that has been here for years has come to end at last. That there's going to be a new beginning. A life of hope, a life of dignity, a life of prosperity for people in West Nile. Nobody was there to speak for us. Now there's one. Not only me, but we are here. Yes. With you, we are going to make West Nile great. We are going to make Uganda great. We are going to build friendships with our countries in the neighborhood. We are going to build friendships with the countries in the African Union. We are going to build global relations. So our foreign policy is going to be an attractive one. I don't want to be a friend of everybody. And we invite the globe, we invite the African community, we invite the Ugandan community here and in the diaspora. We invite the West Nile community to be part of this conversation. Because we want to do it for God and our country. Thank you so much. DP oil! Uganda oil! Change oil!
Now, I wanted to clap for our president in a special way. When I said, Asante sana, we now make blah, 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 blah. Then I repeat, we also make the same. Let's all stand up. So, our president will now receive it. Asante sana. Ongeza tena. Keep the way. Ra.
If there are any questions from the press, we are very ready for them. And we want to have a conversation.
Thank you. This has brought us to the moment of question and answers.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for the presentation that has been made. My name is Richard Asmako. I work for West Nile News. Just want to know for a few questions. One is, you mentioned that the leaders have been diverted because of financial issues. And as we go into these elections, I'd like to know what you plan to do about the issue of commercialization of the election process. And two, you mentioned that the DP has been a dysfunctional party for some time, and you have been the vice president for the last 10 years. Now there is about 1 year left in the elections, and you want to change this. So, how can you convince the Ugandans that within 1 year or less, you are going to reorganize a party which has been dysfunctional for so long? And then the last one is the restructuring of government. And you mentioned something about the parliament. And also you said that you plan to have DP to fill candidates in all the elective positions. And the parliament is supposed to be reduced in the number. So how are you going to reconcile this? Would you leave out some seats as you go to the elections, or will the restructuring come after you have perhaps succeeded in capturing the power? Can you clarify on that? Thank you.
Let me respond to this, then we continue taking questions. I will start with the last one. We are talking about restructuring of government, and yet we are putting all candidates, putting candidates in all positions. Now, I want to say that to address the national mess in Parliament, we first have to deploy them. Because to reduce the number of Parliament needs a vote by the same Parliament, or it needs a referendum. And so those two will only be done when we deploy numbers in that Parliament. And then now use use the numbers to be able to make a decision to reduce it. I can report to you that right now there are people who are agitated across the political divide about the size in Parliament because of its ineffectiveness. And so I think Ugandans will support this plan and ensure that our deputy leaders elected there to go and implement the proper reforms, national reforms, among which will be the restructuring. And that's why it's very important for our candidates to be the ones going to Parliament in numbers. If they are supported by Ugandans, we will then enact the reforms that we're talking about. Two, the reorganization DP will not be done only in 1 year. We are announcing this campaign, and the period is from 2025 up to 2030. So we are going to be reorganizing DP in 5 years. But we think we can do a lot, even in the first 100 days, to make sure we set proper structures and ensure that everybody is doing their work. And that way, you will find DP will be awake and will be very active, will be valid, visible, and vocal at all structures. And so, in 100 days, we will achieve a lot, and this will gradually now build on in the coming other years up to the end of the term, which is 2030. And we believe our members are going to work with us, and we will be able to deliver the reforms and also changes that we want to implement in DP. Commercialization of politics. This was a game plan of NRM to make sure our politics is made and affordable for the technical and qualified people. They have not only commercialized it, but made it look unattractive to Ugandans. But they turned it attractive to fools, to idiots, who now is in abundance, occupying spaces. And our politics has been commercialized because the NRM think, because they control our national resources, it is easy for them to spend it on the candidates, but then now the candidates spend it on the people, to only fool them during the campaign time. A time like this, where all MPs have been given 100 million by President Museveni. Yet, a Paris, under the Paris development model, is given 100 million also. So, somebody said jokingly that an MP is now a Paris. Museveni gives MPs 100 million to go and buy votes. And this denies competent people, technical leaders, the opportunity to aspire for leadership. And it's very bad. Museveni actually, after electing his very bad leaders, does not like them. And that's why he continues to face leaders in the opposition spaces. These MPs are only there to vote. They're not there to contribute to debate, enact laws, follow budget, and talk about it. And so commercialization of politics is something that has killed our leadership space. It has destroyed it, and it's been working for Museveni and his NRM. Now we say it is bad because Uganda needs proper service delivery, and this can only be done by leaders who are technical enough, leaders who are genuine enough, and leaders who get elected not because of the tokens they give to the voters, but because of the account of their ideas. We say no to commercialization. We are not going to be giving out money. We are going to be giving out ideas and our time, our expertise to work for Uganda and to change Uganda for the better.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other question?
Yeah, so let me come from here so that everyone can see me. My name is Unveils. I work for Party of Uganda, and I have another brand called Information is Power. My questions are three. One goes to you. When you look at the issues of corruption, it's real in our country, and when you look at our budget, like half of it goes to wages and those kind of unnecessary conferences that consume and drain the taxpayer money. So so the question is, what method are you going to use to make sure that you avert such kind of issues that are causing financial loss to the country? Then my second question goes to Mr. Fila, my brother there. You said you are going to contest the Malta district, where the district which you already know what has been happening and what is currently happening there. So, with your candidature, how do you tend to resolve some of those challenges that is facing the district, like when you go to the technical department, there are a lot of some challenges there. So when you try to read it like this, there are always ways of trying to silence or threaten you. So being as the LC5 chairperson, if you win the coming election, how are you going to address those? Then my third question goes to this other guy who was going. I said he's going to contest in Terego West. You? No? I'm not. Someone who said he's going to contest on DB. Is it you? LC5? Yeah, LC5. Yeah. So when you go to Terego district right now, being in opposition, you are being branded as someone who is a criminal. So how are you going to work with those people, someone who see opposition as people who do not even deserve to exist and live in the society? Thank you.
I will answer mine, and any question for them, they are going to be given a chance to answer all of them. I encourage them to write them down, and please finish my question so that I can answer them and give them an opportunity. Now, you are asking that corruption is all over, and how we want to fight it. Now, I told you our strategy is very simple. We don't want to fight corruption. We want to go for those people who are stealing our resources. Singapore, they are like this. They said they are going to be killing corrupt people. And after that announcement, they only killed 4 people. Now afterwards, what happened was, if you steal something and you realize you have stolen, you actually kill yourself by hanging yourself, or you resign. That is possible in Uganda. We are not going to be very happy and smiling for anybody who is a thief. When we are putting money in the Ministry of Health, that is supposed to be taking care of the lives of people, and you are stealing that money to build a hotel, others even steal it and use it for eating around. For useless things. Now, we are going to go for that particular individual and make sure we prosecute you properly using the laws, but the result is going to be that you will go to a jail sentence, but also laws will be revised to ensure that punishment for corruption includes death. Through the law, includes death, so that Ugandans know that theft is not good. Theft is a sin, first of all, according to the laws of God. Now in Uganda, our laws do not allow theft. In the Penal Code Act, theft is one of the criminal offenses. And so our laws do not allow it. Even our family values do not allow theft. And so who am I in the government as the president to allow thieves to be in the government? That will not happen. The end is going to be with the current regime. And when we come to our administration, there will be no theft. And we are going to deal with the thieves, not the other way around, the way it has happened. Government has been fighting corruption in boardrooms like this, and the end result has not been there. And every time, it is now pronounced that annually 10 billion is lost. And this is money which is supposed to go to South delivery. And now this money which is even stolen, some of it is borrowed money. Uganda has a debt burden of 93 trillion shillings. 93 trillion shillings, this is borrowed, and instead of it working for our people, it is stolen. And so that has to end. And do not end in the boardroom, it is going to end with a very strong law, but also political action. I do not want to repeat myself on that.
Yeah.
Elect me and you are going to see it happen. No corruption will be here in this country.
Okay, thanks so much for that response. Actually, when you look at that issue, the point from which I raised it, in some scenarios, these people, they fear if you go and steal their money directly like that, you'll be caught. So they tend to organize some kind of conferences. There were some we covered here in Arua whereby the officials, they drive all the way from Kampala to Arua here. But when you look at the allowances, they will sign just for 1 day's conference, do not leave. Maybe those are some of the strategies which they use to steal the money so that they can be accounting there in the national conference, but the money is gone. So if you win the position, how are you going to stop that? Because I remember in Tanzania, President may so rest in peace, Magufuli, banned issues of going abroad or going to some other meetings or conferences that do not have to contribute a lot to the country. Thank you.
Now, you rightly identified one of the sources through which our leaders steal money. Procurement processes, conferences, per diems, foreign trips, and some of these trips are for useless reasons, benchmarking, all avenues through which our money is stored. These things are going to be audited, and we are going to arrive at a government that's efficient. Efficient means we will have people who are doing the right thing. Two, we are going to appoint government who is constituted of people who are technical. That means we are not going to be putting idiots there, no. We are going to give them their roles clearly. And three, we are going to make sure that our PPDA Act is revised and proper and very strong protection mechanisms, controls and checks are put in the PPDA Act, so that all procurements at government level are done in the proper way and through a public competition from bidders, from suppliers, but not through the relatives that they talked about here, who are put in these offices. And so, one more and very important way of fighting this corruption is, once this current administration is removed, you'll find they go away with a lot of their bad manners. And now the new thing that comes will start afresh. And these are going to be new and very focused and committed people. And so that is one of the easiest ways that I tell you will address the corruption issue. And now the laws that we're going to enact, the reforms, but also the penalties of stealing will reinforce and ensure corruption is not an issue anymore. Maybe that's 2 years into our administration. 2 years because we'll need legal reforms, but also to build an administrative structure with the competent people. And so once that happens, you be just assured that there will be no more issues to do with corruption. We are going to have a system that works, procurement processes that are transparent, and some delivery systems that are working for the people and working efficiently. And I think that's what I want to say about this. We will continue talking more about it and see how other reforms will be communicated to Ugandans.
Thank you
so much. Any more questions for me?
Thank you. I request other candidates to note their questions, and we exhaust questions for the President first. Any other question?
Media House.
Thank you very much. My name is Arua Clement, with Nation Media Group. I have a question for the President. The position that you are going for needs alliances. I want to know how prepared you are so that you win the confidence of other regions so to win this position. Thank you.
I've been in the DP leaders for 10 years. And in my 10 years, I've created relationships with various national leaders of the party. And with these leaders, we share common challenges. And so we are working together with them to ensure that we collectively deliver change of government in DP. And we are already talking about building very strong, dependable, but also trusted political collaborations across the country and for various positions. We are not only bringing change in the office of the President, we want other offices in the National Executive Committee, at the regional levels and the district levels, all to have competent DP leaders coming in the next administration. And so, I will not announce who we are partnering with right now, because a lot of these conversations are still taking place, but the prospects are very good, and I want to report to the people that my leadership has been accepted across the country. I will work with everybody in Uganda, with all our regional blocks, with all our new leaders, but also with our other traditional institutions, the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, the Muslim faith. We will work with cultural institutions across and restore our lost relationships. We are going to work with our members and Ugandans diaspora and revive our diaspora structures, but also create contact points there. We are going to restore relationships with our donors, deep donors, individuals and other corporate donors. We are going to work with our DP members who went to other political parties. A lot of them have confirmed, as soon as there's change in DP, they will be coming back to the party. And so, the answer is in the affirmative. We have support across Uganda, and we are working jointly with all those structures and leaders to deliver change in DP. And we will be delivering change to Uganda after that.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other for the President? Okay. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I now invite you to take your seat as
I will take my seat. Thank you, Press, for doing this very important job. I would request for your 5 minutes to allow our senior citizen speak to you. 5 minutes after our candidates here have answered questions. Thank you so much. And may God bless all of you. To our viewers, the time of change is now, and we will deliver it. Thank you so much.
Right. With that, there were 2 questions for other contestants. I now invite my brother to tackle his.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Said, you are called who?
Yeah, I'm called Osuta Yusuf.
Osuta?
Yusuf, I work with the part of Uganda.
Okay, Mr. Osuta, now, you said in Terego, they call oppositions
they see.
Now, I want to ask you a question. Who calls those people like that exactly?
You see, it's not the matter of trying to mention names.
No, it's okay. I want to understand something. Who calls them rebels?
There has ever been situations whereby the incumbent...
Who? By who? Is it by the... Tell me. They don't care.
Sir, this is not about mentioning names, because we have to also protect the name of such person who's behind such kind of moves.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Now, brother, let me tell you, DP in Uganda, if you know DP is a very peaceful opposition that has never been involved in bloodshed. And I wonder if there's a government, even Museveni or his family, or Minister of Museveni, who calls DP member a criminal. That one is why I wanted to understand. It has never happened with the DP, and DP will never involve itself in such kind of a criminal act in order to be called like a criminal or being causing bloodshed in Uganda. That one, I want to assure you, every party struggling has all come from DP, and the DP is the original, and we're going back there where there's no bloodshed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Then LC5 Maracha.
Okay, thank you, Brother Osuta, for this question. Kindly, can I have the second version of the question again? I pardon you.
Yeah, the question was, when you go to Maracha district, yeah, this is okay, it's good, but we have some heads of technical departments who are stealing taxpayers' money. But when they realize someone, whether maybe some of the district officials or we like in the media, me personally who has ever faced such kind of challenges, they start to intimidate you or harass you. So if you win that seat for the LC5 chairperson, how are you going to address such kind of issues to make sure that the technical staff do not step on the political leadership and also the fourth media, but rather it should be you to step on them? We were covering some council sitting in 2023. There was some corruption tendencies whereby some tires for double cabin were supplying, the procurement was done, the company that did it was a different company, delivery was also by a different company, but payment was done. But when reaching the stores of the district, the tires were not there. So some of the councillors asked the head of department to respond over that issue. So during that moment, the key person who was going to respond stopped us from recording. He said, media, I don't want you to record me when I'm going to respond over that issue. And yet that is taxpayers' money. We personally, we felt the pain, we are not protected, not even the LC5, not even the speaker, nobody protected us during this kind of critical moment. So we want to know from you, if you win, are you going to step over such kind of people? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother Suta, for such a very elaborate question. It is true we have corruption tendencies in such a manner, And why you were stopped from covering the response from the thief was there was a channel of corruption starting from the LC5 to the person, let me say from LC5's office to the person who was corrupt. And I'm warning a courageous man who will not succumb to such kind of corruption, because if you want to catch a pig, you throw the salted fish. It means technical people threw the salted fish into the office of LC5. That's why the saga came like that. But I'm one a courageous man who is a corruption-free man, and holding each leader accountable for his or her action, which deprives our people for development. Don't get scared, because the reason why I've come out is to wave or clean up the corruption tendency in that district. That district is just 15 years old. We have money or color here. See the officers. See Terego here. See the officers, infrastructure. Who is behind that is why we're coming there. Don't get surprised. Don't get intimidated. Don't fear. You are the right track. It means, in fact, you are going to start enjoying your media work, because we need the media to explore, to really tell the world that such things are happening in this place. Don't get intimidated. You are talking to a very courageous man, a corruption-free man, who will at least protect your legacy, protect your image, and you do your right thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. A compliment.
Thank you. I've requested to compliment because the question is on Maracha, and studied for MP for Maracha East, which is part of the district. Let us understand that this government, NRA, uses corruption for the regime survival. When we use this as basis, then elected Ikobua as chairperson LC5 is one step already. That will be a threat. We are going for, as our president said, we are going not to fight corruption, but we are fighting individuals who corrupt. One of the things I would advise my chairperson to do is your local ordinance that you are going to form there should be on corruption. A very strong one. How to deal with corrupt tendencies in the district. It should be an ordinance passed in your council. I promise no council meeting of yours will be sat when I'm not there. I'll be there.
Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming towards the end of our event. We have two small assignments to undertake very quickly. One, we are going to quickly have our leaders up here officially endorse our president, our aspirant for the party presidency of DP. Very quickly. And once we finish that, then we shall give an opportunity to our senior citizen to close our meeting for today. Now, I would like to invite our leaders one by one to come and give their endorsement to our president. We can start here so that we flow smoothly. So this is our LC5 incoming, Maracha, putting his signature to endorse our first presidential candidate. Sorry, just a moment. Let us witness history as
party, the spirit of love for the party, DP, the spirit of loving my brother, the president, I officially endorse Council Alitia Elia for DP president for 2025 to 2031.
Thank you. Next.
I, Arua City, the Aspirant candidate for Member of Parliament for Terego West, in the spirit of love, patriotism, and good governance, I hereby endorse Elia Alitia as the president for Democratic Party for the period 2025-2030.
Next.
I, Honorable Ian Gerald, contesting for Vurra constituency, hereby endorses my most gallant, brilliant, democratic, honorable Alitia Elia for President General from 2025 to 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
I, Big Emmanuel, standing for Maracha East constituency, in the spirit of reclaiming our lost glory in the party and reclaiming our robbed rights in the party, Mr. Alitia Elia as the president of DP for 2025 to 2030. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Next.
City Mayor of Arua, hereby endorse Honorable Leah Lydia as the Democratic Party General President and at the same time the next President of Uganda 2026 and 30.
Thank you. Next.
I, Mr. Alma Ben, the Chairperson of DP Terego District, has officially endorsed Council Aliti Ilia as the President of DP from 2025 to 2030. Thank you. DP way.
I, retired Second Lieutenant Mr. Juma Christopher, would like to endorse my dear brother, His Excellency here, Lydia, in the spirit of integrity and tranquility for presidency 2025 to 2030.
I, Honorable Arua City, LC5 at Terego District, want to introduce Honorable presidential candidate, Mr. Alitia from 2025 to 2030 as a president of DP and also a president of Uganda.
In the interest of a new hope, a new West Nile, and a new Uganda, I take this opportunity to endorse Honorable Alitia Elia for DP presidency and also for the President of the Republic of Uganda. I now invite His Excellency to accept this endorsement.
West Nile oye! Uganda oye! Change oye! Vurra! I want to accept the mandate of our leaders and our members in West Nile, represented by the leaders here from Terego, from Arua City, Maracha, Arua District, and including those who were not able to come across other parts of West Nile, that I become the new party president of DP to implement the reforms that DP needs, restore order in DP, build grassroots structures, build a very strong, courageous, daring DP that is capable of capturing state power. Do accept that, yes, I'm going to work with you, work for you, work for God, and work for our country. In the name of and this is on the 14th day of April 2025.
Thank you.
Next year at a certain time, we might be giving here a national address as the president of Uganda.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now with this, without wasting any further time, I now call upon our senior citizen, our elder, to bless and close our meeting.
Thank you very much. The chief guest, none other than the DP president. And I observe all the protocols. As a senior citizen, mine is only an advice to the President of the Democratic Party and the entire team. First, human resource for all the political parties are the electorate. Which electorate, as I speak now, 87% of them do not know what multi-party democracy is. It is therefore very important that the first thing you political parties must be doing is to sensitize the electorate. Politicize the electorate. 87% of whom are young, they don't know what multi-party democracy is. Only 13%, like me here, know what multi-party democracy is. the electorate that human rights, God-given rights, rights which are not negotiable with the state, are the following. 1, human life. 2, human dignity. 3, human value. 4, human freedoms of movement, of association, of joining a religion of their choice. Are God-given, and no government should infringe upon them. And then lastly, human access to wealth. Human access to wealth is the wealth given by God, not by the state. This wealth is access to land and environment. This access to land and environment I'm talking about are each human person must have access to land. Each human person born must be having access to water. Each human person born must have access to fresh air. And each human person born must have access to warm him or herself in the sun. These are the God-given wealth. Therefore, we must tell our electorate not to sell land, not to put land as a security or for loans from banks. This is because the moment you fail to pay the loans, the loan will take away your land. Our land must be passed from generation to generation. Number 3, each political party is a government in waiting. Therefore, each political party must include the protection of the fundamental human rights of the citizen in their manifesto. That they will come to protect these human rights. And any government that grabs citizens' land, that grabs the land of the electorate, is therefore a government worth not voting for. Then, fourthly, the electorate must be given this political education so that they will vote from authority of knowledge, unlike what these people are doing now. Electorate are not voting from authority of knowledge. Electorate think if a candidate gives you 2,000 shillings, that is the candidate to vote for. Are we together? Yeah. that will protect the fundamental human rights, which is paid to these yellow caucus MPs, is very dangerous move. It is a move to fight opposition political parties. It is a move to frame and kill civilian political voters who are opposed to a regime that grabs their land. I therefore appeal all the political parties, go and tell these yellow robots that they are committing suicide, they are enacting a law to the regime that will kill citizens. Appeal to them not to enact that law. With this little, I therefore advise and conclude that Mr. Elias Alitia, this is the first task that you have to translate into action, so that electorate will vote from authority of knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our senior citizen, Honorable Arua City. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to officially bring us to the closure of today's engagement. It was very, very powerful once here. The last item on our agenda is departure, which is at will, at leisure. That means there are still one or two interactions that will continue here. Whoever is free, ready, is free to depart. And then there are some activities that are going to be done, particularly with our media house. They will be done through your chairperson, so that we handle in an organized way. So thank you so much for spending your time since 10 this morning up to this very time. 2 p.m. 4 hours has not gone in vain. It is for common good. Thank you so much. In truth and justice,